I think I'm gonna do that. So when you go live, you can just talk whenever you want to when you on the Emo's Witness show. Wait for that beat to come in. It's a Freestyle Friday, y'all. How y'all doing out there, America? How y'all doing out there? Emo's the Witness. Coming to you live. We're back for another hot new show. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As you know, it's called The Field Show. Standing for the fuck I look like, right, America? Because this is a hot new political show that I produced and brought out here. My man Malik and Wyatt, two of the hottest working media moguls here in the media business. So it's Emo's the Witness, you guys. About episode, we're about 50 now. You know, a lot of these shows, for me, it's you know, I really should. I mean, to me, it's kind of like practice. Like I've never done this before, but this is a new show. This is a new show that we're bringing, discussing politics, anything from Hollywood to sports. Eventually, we're gonna dig into a lot of issues, a lot of times. But mainly, we're here to push back on Congress, on leaders, on our political group of, to me, they're thugs. I mean, I don't know, but local, nationally, and worldly. And here at Emo's Witness, we're going to dig into these articles, these issues, and push back on what they're saying to us and what they're telling us. And we'll dig into the news of the day and all that good stuff, and just have a great time. You know, for about a good hour, you have about an hour, from 10 to 11, live, Emo's the Witness. So Malik, man, let's get into it. Let's, as we know, as we always do, is drop back the music, get into some background music, and let's get into the news. Again, I'm Emo's the Witness. This is the Field Show. I'm your host, Emos. I am your guide. Please take that word serious. I am your witness. You know, and together I want us to all become witnesses and look at these articles, all these topics from immigration to the economy to foreign policy to political, just the political rhetoric that we hear, the back and forth that we're tired of. And I'm beginning to a lot about that, you know, a lot into that, in the show today, because it just seems like, you know, with the change of a leadership, you get a change of behavior, right? Now we're a lot more docile as a country, a lot more calm and a lot more laid back. Because we got this old fogey in office. We got this old man in office, you know, walking around, barely could speak. And we take on that demeanor. You know, last when Trump was in office, we was all angst, riled up. Media had us going. Now we're all being lulled back to sleep. And what kind of consequence does that hold? I mean, you think that's kind of a minor thing to bring up, but no, that means something. Our demeanor means something. How we act, and we're all calm and relaxed. But what's being passed in the background? What kind of laws and issues and policies are being pushed that we're just not even really looking at anymore, because we're just taking a break from politics, right? With this old man chilling, we're all in hammocks, relaxing, taking picnics. But it's not all peaches and creams, y'all. It's not all dancing monkeys with toothbrushes, and we gotta stay vigilant. And here at the Emo's the Witness show, my goal when I create this show late last year is to bring you a new political perspective, a new analysis, a new way of thinking, to encourage you to get your own voice, to think for yourself, to push back against media, mainly corporations who want to push their own agendas without, you know, your say or even, you know, taking your life at risk. And politicians who deceive you, politicians who say one thing and mean another. And at the end of the day, you look at you're holding a short end of the stick, and you're thinking one thing and another thing's happening. You know, so like I said, you check me out on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Please subscribe, like those pages. I got a website coming soon, emosthewitness.com. Where again, we want to bring you hot new articles and eventually, you know, political pieces from various news sources, and just, like I said, different articles and different things you may not get a good view on or get a good analysis on, or you can't find from time to time, or you might see too many biased slants. You know, there's too much nonsense in media, and I'm going to show you some things that are going on today here on Freestyle Friday that really bothers me. And like I said, I'm really adamant about protecting the Constitution. I'm really adamant about protecting the right to free speech, right to bear arms, freedom to protest. All those things are important, because if you don't have those things, you know, on the side of the people, you're gonna have tyranny. I believe that 100%. And you know, when I see censorship in big tech, and we're gonna talk about that today as well. And when you see, you know, this COVID and this pandemic and these vaccinations are a trip. I mean, you need them. Like, you feel like you need them, and you feel like you don't. You're wary. At least I am. You know, like I said, when I continue to see articles and headlines, and when I continue to see confusion and misinformation, it just makes me even more. Like, I can see probably about 3 or 4 articles that are positive about vaccines. You know, that are positive about the the progress we're making about opening up and things of that nature, schools and kids opening up. I can read about 4 or 5 articles and be happy or be optimistic about it. And then I can read one article that's just negative, that's just bad regarding the vaccines, or that's confusing, or that has a political bent or a financial angle to it that has nothing to do with the people's health. Then I get skeptical, and it's like I don't want to touch it at all. You know, I don't want to have anything to do with it. It's inconclusive. When the data is inconclusive, and so we still have that. So I don't know where, I'm not sure what position to take when it comes to the vaccine, because I don't know if the intentions are real. You hate to question those things. That's why we have these shows. You have hosts that come out, and radio personalities and media personalities come out, the social media personalities rather, that come out and put their neck on the line and say, hey, I don't know if this vaccine is necessary. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if the risk is worth it, based on all the bullshit. What the fuck I look like? Phil show. That's why this show's here. Like, what the fuck I look like? I mean, you tell me one thing and you tell me another. You know? So I don't know. I think sometimes when it comes to this vaccine, it's more about, in a lot of ways, pushing draconian laws on us. Why don't you look at this video on CNN that I come across? It's about 47 seconds. Why don't you listen to this lady? This is Dr. Leanna Nguyen. She's an ER physician, and she's talking about, I don't even listen.
For whatever reason.
I don't listen to CNN, too much. Like I said, I got to the point now where I listen to so much mainstream media over the past 6 years that it disgusts me. I can't even watch it longer than 15 seconds. It's so fake to me. I could discern and read through the nonsense, the BS. This, I think we all at this point can, but imagine like constantly seeing it for years and years. I mean, I can read headlines and tell, the slant at this point. But at this point in this video, I had to watch it. I came across it. Every day you got to make sure you keep track of what the media is up to and how they're talking. If they have, they even change their ways, and they haven't. But this lady said they wanna take away our freedoms if you don't have the vaccine. If you're not vaccinated out in the future, this is what the future is looking like. They want to say if you don't have this vaccine, there's a lot of freedoms. Your freedoms will be taken away. Malik, let's play this video. Let people hear this. Come on here.
There are many more people, millions of people, who, for whatever reason, have concerns about the vaccine, who just don't know what's in it for them. And we need to make it clear to them that the vaccine is the ticket back to pre-pandemic life. And the window to do that is really narrowing. I mean, you were mentioning, Chris, about how all these states are reopening. They're reopening at 100%. And we have a very narrow window to tie reopening policy to vaccination status. Because otherwise, if everything is reopened, then what's the carrot going to be? How are we going to incentivize people to actually get the vaccine? So that's why I think the CDC and the Biden administration needs to come out a lot bolder and say, if you're vaccinated, you can do all these things. Here are all these freedoms that you have. Because otherwise, people are going to go out and enjoy these freedoms anyway.
You hear that? This is an opportunity for us to tie vaccine status to your freedoms. This is a chance for us to say, hey, if you're not vaccinated, you can't do certain things. That's what they think. They think this is an opportunity to take away your rights. This is what worries me about the Biden administration. Like I told you, I don't see a mandate, and I don't want one. I don't want this president to think that he can just go around passing these laws, these draconian laws, and they're lining up. And I'm not really trying to make Freestyle Friday, a joyful show. But sometimes, man, you gotta read the tea leaves, and you gotta kind of warn the American people what's on the horizon. And I see a lot of warning signs, with the economy and with some of the laws and some of the foreign policy review. These 4 years can really be a nuclear winter, as the current president has stated in his campaign. Let me stick to this particular topic when it comes to the vaccines. It just seems like the president is lining up his policy to take away our freedoms utilizing this vaccine, And this is a prime example on CNN where this George Washington professor, Dr. Leanne Wynn, is saying, hey, we have people going to go out here and enjoy their freedoms anyway. Yeah, we should enjoy our freedoms anyway. But this is a good time. This is a good time with a narrow window to tie vaccine status to your freedoms. So if you want to go somewhere and do certain things, you need to have that vaccine. And if you don't, you can't do those things. And the Biden administration is they want to pass policies that reflect that. You know, and again, the American people in general, American people, you know, by their roots are freedom lovers. You know, and I think that a lot of people miss the big picture when there's a lot of people when there's half of the country arguing this point. When they want to argue the safety side of it versus the freedom side. And I just think that the freedom side is more important. Because I think that we are, as Americans, we as individuals know how to take care of ourselves when push comes to shove. And we also know how to take care of each other. The American spirit has always been strong. The Americans' creativity has always been there. Our innovation, we've always adjusted. Always pulled ourselves up out of bootstraps. Always overcame things. We don't need a government to simplify those things and make rules around those things like we're kids. You know, we don't. But you see that they know that we know that. So they take crises and pandemics and wars and try to make opportunities out of them to take away and shred away your laws, shred away your freedoms. And you know, to me, the new angle is, or the old angle, the last 4 years is to implement those policies on your leaders. And you know, I think Trump was that lightning rod. Can you imagine if this censorship shit continues, where he continues to be censored by big tech, and we don't say anything about it? Eventually, that reflects and shows up upon yourself. You know, it's a precedent, not a president. Precedent where if it's been done here in the courts, we can apply that same law to this case. So in your case, you're going to be censored, and it's going to be like, hey, status quo. It's just par for the course. Your views, your thoughts, what you can see, what you can read, what you can look at, how it's presented to you, how it's reported to you. That affects everything. And most importantly, it affects your right to vote. Your right to protest has been adjusted now. Can you imagine what the next protest at the Capitol is going to look like? It's going to probably be a fucking single file line. Motherfuckers passing out tea and coffee and just walking around having a conversation about the views. That's what's going to happen. What does a protest look like? A freedom protest look like now? We don't know. We're scared to see it. You'd be called a terrorist. No, I don't know if I can even say that word anymore on media on the mic. But you'd be called un-American for sure nowadays. You know, enemy of the state. Because you love your Constitution, you love your values. See, Freestyle Friday, but I'll just jump around to anything. I was talking about vaccines. And I was talking about, you know, how Dr. Wynn and these professors want to take away your freedoms under the guise of vaccination status. I got another article that reflects that. I mean, it's not just you know, a few people talking about this that are our professors and our, you know, head of our social society industry leaders saying. I mean, look at this. It said New York has why vaccine passports are causing serious concerns. This is by Kevin Ryan of Bias America. This in New York this week became the first state to introduce a vaccine passport called Excelsior Pass. New York's always on some extra shit. The whole country could be on the same shit. Like we all want every state area. We all go to buy orange basketballs. New York's gonna fuck around and buy like a fucking purple basketball, or do some stupid shit. Put some like fireworks on it and put some sparkles on it. You know, just some dumb extra. It just want to be extra. Now we got an Excelsior passport. I'm about to get a fucking passport. You know. Now, do I get a passport? Then I gotta wait about 6 months later. Now everybody gets this fucking Excelsior pass. Okay, it's a phone app that links the user's medical records and displays a QR code that can be scanned by businesses. If the app determines that the user has not been vaccinated or received a recent negative test, there will be barred entry from certain businesses, events, and weddings, and even weddings. Governor Cuomo, man, I really got to get into Cuomo, man. I can't believe he's still around, man. I can't believe all the shit he's done. Governor Cuomo says the vaccine passport will allow more sectors of the economy to reopen safely while keeping personal information secure. But critics are already voicing serious concerns about the technology, including Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who says he will issue an executive order banning vaccine passports in his state. His quote is, "It is completely unacceptable for either the government or the private sector to impose upon you the requirement that you show proof of vaccine just to simply be able to participate in normal society." That's what they're coming down to, man. That's crazy how it's all coming out of New York. I don't know. New York professors, not a government in New York, and just why would I even want to trust a local government like that whose leader squandered the whole pandemic response? You know, Cuomo did a horrible job. He killed people. He don't care. He doesn't care. Sexual harassment, sexual assaults, allegations going on. Just aggrandizing. That's the word. Just self-loathing. You know, these press conferences he held every day during the pandemic were just useless and unnecessary. You know, irresponsible and mixed messaging with the top leadership. Horrible leader, in my opinion. And his brother's worse on CNN. You just saw the picture of him. Goofball looking. Just looks making goofy faces, just goofy looking. Man, I'm just telling you, man, we gotta push back on these leaders, man. We need new leadership. I hope the state of New York, we'll keep monitoring how they're, the charges and all the allegations on Cuomo, because that's someone who needs to be out of office. But he's strong with it. Like I said, Democrats play a strong political game, man. They can weather a lot of storms, better than Republicans. And so he's still in office. He's still making laws. He's trying to pass a vaccine passport that lines up with that last video I just showed you. You know, where they want to tie the vaccine, with your freedoms. Now you have a passport to do what you want to live your life, to do normal things. You have all your information, so there's a violation of your data, your personal information. That's right there, and your rights. So this law here is all in one. It's 2 for 1. What do you think about that? New York citizens? What do you think about that? American citizens? Does that change your thoughts and minds when you walk into that poll booth in midterms? You want to mix up that leadership? You want to get those old fogies out of office now? Those 80-year-olds, those 74-year-old corrupt leaders who don't care. They don't. They make you think you care. They make you think they care. You know what I mean? I don't want you. Immigration. I don't want. Let me see. I don't know if I pulled that Charlie Kirk video up. I don't want to. I'm gonna wait on that. But like I said, Freestyle Friday, and just bullshit, man. Just bullshit. And speaking, I'm still on the vaccine, and like I said, I think, man, I don't want to get too far into. I'm too away from the mic. I don't get too far into conspiracy theories, and like I said, I don't. I really do think that when I read some of these articles, that it's like, the fuck I look like. I'm witnessing. By the way, hit this Emotional Witness to Phil show. Like I said, hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday downtown from 10 to 11 a.m. 120 East Market Street, Wave 1 Media. Hit that like, subscribe button. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like I said, you come down and get your own show too as well. Or at least start opening up and provide your own voice and start getting different perspectives from different news sources as well, from social media and mainstream. But just make sure you go through these articles and you question a lot of this stuff. Okay? And like I said, when I'm reading these articles and I'm learning about AstraZeneca, I'm learning about Johnson & Johnson shots, more people getting the shot, and how schools are opening up. Now they're getting the shots out to adolescents. Now they're doing clinical trials with infants. Okay, well that's pretty encouraging. And the first vaccine, one of the first 2 vaccines that were presented, which was during the Trump administration, was Pfizer and Moderna. And one thing that I have been noticing that I've been reading over the past few months, or the few months since these rollouts of these vaccines, is that Pfizer has been pretty consistent. So their 2-shot has been pretty consistent, and I've seen more positive articles relating to them than the other few. Like I said, Johnson & Johnson, what they talking about it, man. I don't. Anyway, this article that I know that Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine is still highly effective after 6 months. Ongoing clinical trials. I have this article myself, Malik, so I don't think you have this one. Don't worry about it. Ongoing trials indicate that the COVID-19 vaccine Pfizer developed with biotech remains highly effective for 6 months after the second dose, according to a new study released on Thursday. An analysis of Pfizer's phase 3 study, which includes 927 symptomatic COVID-19 cases, found that the vaccine was 91.3% effective for 1 week through up to 6 months after the second dose. It was also 100% effective against severe diseases as defined by the CDC, and 95.3% effective against severe diseases as defined by the FDA. There were no serious safety concerns. Pfizer and biotech also said the vaccine was 100% effective against COVID-19 cases in South Africa, where a concerning variant has been spreading. Pfizer previously said the trial showed a vaccine to be 100% effective in adolescents ages 12 to 15. So that's per Axios and CNN. So yeah, if I had to take a vaccine, it'd probably be Pfizer at this point. Anything that come out through the Biden administration, I ain't fucking with. Hey, that's just me. But I gotta put it down a political line. If I have to, if I have a list of pros and cons, it would be on the pro side. I would put that down. I'll say at least I got this vaccine. This vaccine was made during an administration that I trusted a little bit more. Will you take the vaccine based on who created the vaccine? Like, hey, when it was created? Like I said, when this whole pandemic started, when it started a year ago, or back in March, there was a big, what was it? Operation Warp Speed. And it just seemed like all these companies were working on it, but it seemed like the administration was working very, very close with Pfizer and Moderna. And I just feel like there's a little more high level of quality there. I'm not promoting any particular brand, but when I see that when I see Johnson & Johnson, when I see AstraZeneca pop up and I read their headlines, I'm seeing a money grab. One shot, the way you promote, the way you advertise, how we're gonna need vaccines, shots every year. Dr. Fauci and all his nonsense as well. It just seems that, things being promoted during the Biden administration seems to not be for your, for the greater good. It may not be for your own. It may be not primarily in your best interest. That's just the way I feel about it. That's just the way my mind, the discernment, what I'm witnessing, how I'm reading these things. And when I see the Biden administration order 100 million new doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, like, are you being hard-headed? We're seeing which dog is winning the fight. We're seeing which medical group has the best vaccine. Why don't you buy those? Because it was championed by the Trump administration. That's why. Pettiness, politics. Again, when I can hear 4 or 5 articles that are positive on a vaccine, I can find one that's negative and say, I don't want to touch this shit. What the fuck I look like? Hit that like, subscribe button. What are these politicians really trying to sell us? I know Big Tech is trying to sell us a bunch of censorship. I know they have not quit. I guess they're not going to quit. I guess they just made determination. Y'all can't fuck with us. We can ban professors from saying stuff. We're here to stay. We're not changing. We got our subscribers. We got our people. We got our influence. You had to create a whole new social media platform, and you better hope we can't destroy you like we can do like we did Parler. You can't touch us. How are we gonna stop Big Tech? Are there any antitrust laws coming? I gotta research that, but I know they're still touching Trump. I know they're still checking him, for sure. Let me find this article. I know just recently he did a interview with his daughter, or maybe with his niece or somebody, and they censored that. They shut that down. My man can't even do an interview on someone else's page, whether it be YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, he's basically being shut out of communicating to anybody. Now, he's created his own website and his own social media platform. Let's look into that. Trump creates let's say he creates a social media page. Yeah. This is a day ago. This per Fox News. I'm not going. We can go ahead and throw it. We're gonna throw it up there. Just shout out to Wyatt. He brought up to me this morning. I'm gonna talk about Laura Trump. And I just put that link up there in Teams. I don't know if you want to pull it up. If you want to, but I'll read.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up.
Cool. I'll read a little bit of it. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk about how big tech just shut down the whole interview that we on his own page. As you know, Donald Trump has been censored and banned from YouTube, Facebook, Twitter for life, I believe. We'll see how long that lasts, but you just wonder if that's gonna have any kind of. Well, hold on, let me read this first. Anyway, Trump moving forward with plans to start social media platform, says sources. Former President Donald Trump and his team are moving forward with plans to start their own social media platform, sources familiar with the matter told Fox News. We're moving forward, one source said Tuesday, as President Trump will have his voice back one way or another. They're taking time to do it right, says one source. You have one shot, the source says. We're dotting our I's and crossing our T's. We'll be out with something. Trump senior advisor Jason Miller earlier this month hinted at plans for Trump to create his own form of social media after Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and YouTube permanently banned him from their platforms following the Capitol riots in January. Just this week, by the way, you know that he was acquitted, America, of that. They really couldn't find any kind of assignment from the president. The truth be told, he had Twitter posts that even spoke of peaceful protests and encouraged nonviolence and encouraged people. Anyway, that doesn't stop the media from pushing a certain narrative. It doesn't stop politicians from still skewing you that he was impeached, but they don't say he was acquitted. That's not enough to aggressively assault and ban this guy from every social aspect of communicating. That shows you how much influence he has and how they're still trying to stop this guy after he's being out of office at this point in time. Because they know he's coming back. They know he hasn't left. He's in the background waiting. But they can't stop that, right? So, right now Trump is just trying to find ways to kind of get his voice back out there. So even just this week, like I mentioned, just this week, Facebook removed a video of an interview with Trump conducted by his daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, saying any content in the voice of Donald Trump would be scrubbed from social media platform. You can't even hear his voice. A former president. Like I said, there's also a level of decency that we should have in this country regarding our leaderships as well. If we're gonna demand our leaders to step up and be better leaders, we gotta be able to respect them more. And they gotta be able to respect themselves too when it comes to the halls of Congress too, man. I don't want to see no more buckets of chicken inside the damn Senate, or Nancy Pelosi ripping up pages of the State of the Union address. That's so childish. The media sometimes focus too much on the executive branch, but man, that Congress, man, when it comes to, they act like kids sometimes up in those halls, and disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? Just for people who care about their vote and care about these issues on a day-to-day basis. We didn't send you up there to take our money in the bullshit, and that's what they're doing right now. I mean, they're doing a lot of stuff that we don't agree with, that we don't even see. And so, like I said, in this situation, big tech, any content in the voice of Donald Trump. So what if this man runs for office in 2024 again? Are we not gonna be able to hear him? Because what if he wins? It'd be hard as hell to if these policies and these angles keep being rocked like this. I mean, if big tech still allowed to operate in this manner in election seasons in the next couple of years, we're in trouble. All voices are drowned out. That's what I'm referring to. What the fuck I look like? You mean to tell me that I can go and make a vote. You think it's not gonna be influenced by what's going on in social media? You think that I'm gonna be well informed if my opponent, his own voice is drowned out? A lot of our news sources comes from social media. A lot of our content we get is from social media. So these elections will definitely be affected if these laws continue. If this attitude continues. We have no other news source. We have no other we have a minimum amount of outlets that are providing his information. I mean, look at the speeches. You remember the speeches from 2020? I mean, just look at the fact that, I mean, he had large crowds out. He had large crowds. Joe Biden had like 15 people. Had like 10 Toyotas parked out in the parking lot. They wouldn't really show that shit. I mean, it was just ridiculous, man. It's just the bit is obvious. And you wonder when they do things like this, when they ban your leader from social media platforms like this, even though they're doing you a disservice, are they destroying themselves? Are they just burying themselves in the long run? Are there enough Americans in this world that see this, enough people that see this, that have the power to push back on this? We're going to find that out in 2024 and 2022 midterm elections and all the local elections. You know, how much influence does big tech have going forward? You add that up with all the laws being changed and the early suppression votes and immigration. I mean, the early vote and the late mail-in balloting, and there's all these laws coming in when it comes to immigration, and you're flooding the border with would-be Democratic voters. Is your vote being drowned out? Do you have a chance? Does your opponent even have a chance? This is some of the ways that we're fighting. But this is some of the ways Donald Trump's fighting back, and that's through, his own social site, and he has his website coming out too. I think he has a new website, 45president.com, I believe. So those are ways you can be informed. I mean, like I said, you have to dig into the news, but you also have to dig into news and find different sources and read through different sources and form your own opinion. And then come listen to this show and let's be witnesses. Let's sort it all out. Let's see who's feeding us bullshit, who tells the truth, and and where's it all lie, and how does it affect us. So you can be better informed, and we can get these leaders out of office, and we can bring in some fresh new leaders, or we at least get them to change some viewpoints. There's some positives going on, but this administration I think is very deceptive. It comes from a deceptive source. It comes from man. I'm gonna play. Let's go and play that Charlie Kirk interview with Psaki, which is the Biden press secretary. She got caught up on the immigration on Chris Wallace this past Sunday, and you just see the deception and the way she's playing the American people when it comes to immigration, and the hypocrisy from one administration to the next, and how the media narrates that. If you go to Teams, Malik, it's the article right above the NCAA. I just want to play that. I mean, the video rather, and I just want you to start like about 20 seconds in. If you come down to see that 8:33 a.m. Come down a little bit.
1 second, it's not. Oh, I gotta click 150 reply.
Yeah, you gotta open up that. Come down. Come up a little bit more. A little bit more.
What was the video called?
It says it's one of the Facebook ones. It says 8:33 a.m.
Oh, it's right here.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. I just play like just kind of going like 10 seconds, 20 seconds in, where you see Chris Wallace. There you go, right there. Check this out, you guys. Chris Wallace, before you hit play, Chris Wallace is great at doing interviews when it comes to like tying people up, getting them caught up in their words, or not, or keep them on the hook when they don't answer the question clearly or all the way. And it's clear how she. Listen to this, guys. This is how secretive and deceptive the Biden administration is compared to the previous administration. Then when it comes to transparency, and this is the same shit we saw in the Obama administration as well. And we shouldn't stand for this. And if you can't see through this and vote, your conscience, man, then I don't know what the hell to tell you. Check this out, you guys.
Committed to that. Just last week, we had a pool camera, including providing footage to Fox News just last week into the shelters. We want to provide access into the Border Patrol facilities. We are mindful of the fact that we are in the middle of a pandemic. We want to keep these kids safe, keep the staff safe, but we are absolutely committed to transparency and providing access to media to the Border Patrol facilities, and we're working to get that done as soon as we can.
Images.
But just to clarify, Jen, that what you allowed a camera crew in to see the HHS facilities. What we're talking about here are the Border Patrol facilities, the detention cells, there is a law that let me just finish, that they are not allowed to be there for more than 72 hours. Many of them are there for 10 days. At this point, in terms of allowing access to Border Patrol facilities for reporters, you are being less transparent than the Trump administration.
Well, first of all, Chris, the Trump administration was turning away kids at the border, sending them back on the treacherous journey, or they were ripping kids from the arms of their parents. We're not doing that. We are committed to allowing cameras into the Border Patrol facilities. Absolutely. I will also say we're committed to solutions. That's why I noted that we reopened or opened 3 facilities that have almost 7,000 beds to allow for processing these kids more quickly out of the Border Patrol facilities. We absolutely agree these are not places for children, and our focus is on solutions and moving them as quickly as possible. We're also
like I said, you guys, the immigration policy during the Trump administration was going smoothly. It was working. The wall's being built. We're implementing a merit-based immigration plan. We need to come here based on merit. You need to get in line, get in the back of the line. But the Biden administration said, "Oh hell no, we got 4 years to get this shit right. Let's flood the border. Let's bring it." And I mean, that's what I mean, we saw that the last episode that I brought to you. Oh, I got you guys to see this. I want to share a little bit more of that video, Malik. Can you start that video up at the? Let's do about the 2:37 mark. And hit pause where you get that. This part of the video, at 2:37. This is a video. This is brought to you by Charlie Kirk, by the way. This is a video of the people sleeping on the floor in these NASA blankets, and this immigration worker, employee, at the government official or whatever is trying to prevent this person from showing this video or showing these images. It just gives you a viewpoint of how bad it is down there, but also the hypocrisy of how the criticism of the previous administration about keeping kids in cages, snatching babies out of arms of parents. It's false, for one, and for two, it's just shows you how tough this topic and this issue is, and is one side of the coin trying to solve the problem, and is the other side trying to take advantage and exploit it for political power and to hold political power. And that's what the Biden administration is doing, in my opinion. Let's go ahead and play this video real quick at 2:37, Malik, please.
Please give dignity to the people. Please give dignity to the people.
So you work for the commissioner, your senior advisor. You were hired 2 weeks ago, and you're instructed to ask us to not have any pictures taken here.
Please respect the people,
because the political
rules.
leadership at DHS does not want the American people to know it.
Please respect the rules,
You keep
sir.
standing in front of the pictures, so
Please
you don't want the
respect the
pictures
rules.
taken. The rules are arbitrary, and
Please
they're
respect
designed
the
to
rules
keep
and
the
give
American
the
people
people
in the
dignity
dark.
and respect. That's all we ask.
Well,
Dignity
no, it's
and
not.
respect.
You're asking, is this
Please-
dignity and respect? Look at
Please
these people.
give
There's
dignity
a
and
pandemic.
respect to the people.
Let me ask you. There's a
I
pandemic.
respectfully ask you, sir.
There is a pandemic.
With
Is this
full-hearted,
respecting the rights of these
full-heartedly,
kids?
I ask you. Please
Are you
respect
respecting the
people.
rights of these
This
kids?
is not a zoo, sir. Please don't treat the people.
You're right, and this is a
As such.
dangerous place.
Please don't treat the
And
people
your
like
policies,
this. That's all I ask for
unfortunately,
you,
are
sir.
trying to hide them. I understand
That's
you
all
were
I ask
instructed
you.
when 18
I
senators
ask you
came
to
down
please
here.
respect the people, give them dignity
I
and
respect them, and I
respect.
want to fix this situation.
We all want
and
to fix
the
it, sir. We
administration
don't
you're
want
working
this to
for
happen
is
anymore.
responsible for these conditions.
Please respect the people with dignity and
Okay.
respect,
And
sir.
I ask you to respect the people as well. This
I am
is not
respecting you.
respect.
I am respecting the
This
people.
is not respect.
There you go.
Awesome.
You pause on it. See what I'm saying? How do you feel, witnesses, when you hear something like that, when you watch something like that? You know. I mean, do you think that? Who do you think is being honest? I mean, we definitely see someone who with a video trying to give America some transparency, show you guys what's going on down there, and then you got this lady on the other side that's like, give peace a chance type shit. Show people respect and dignity. I mean, what do you see how they're trying to play you with this over kind of like their heartstrings are touched. You're trying to offend people. You're trying to offend these illegal immigrants. Show them some respect, sir. Show them some respect, sir. She's trying to get you to not see that shit. The horrible job they're doing, the suffering at the border. There's people in cages. They're all piled up on each other. Open up new facilities. Well, you didn't have to if you want to accept so many people illegally. The Democrats perpetuate this nonsense when they come in with these policies and they get elected. Excuse me. People in other countries immediately start flooding the gates. We can't have that. You have to have a balanced approach. I know that we still need. I guess we still need. We don't need cheap labor. We need labor. We need people to do the job. But I think it should go to the American people. People who live here legally. And if you want to come to this country, you got to do it the right way. But we also got to have a more merit-based. We need more quality educators. We need more quality, skilled talent. We need to welcome people, individuals from all walks of life, of course. But we need a policy that encourages people like in IT, in engineering, to come over. You spend all the time we can come over here to, get our education and leaving. It's sad to say, but America, humans are a commodity too, a major commodity. Who's gonna take your trash out and wash the dishes and serve your food? Anything, put up your lightning post, your electrical posts and grids and all that. Robots are a discussion, but shit, it's not here yet. But you just gotta pay them well, pay them fairly, and I think I just think maybe you need to make sure you just increase wages based on merit and let the American people who live here legally, no matter what side of the coin they're on, get the opportunities first. And immigration-wise, I just think it needs to be merit-based. It needs to be a uniform policy. It needs to be smooth running. Our border needs to be protected for all kind of reasons. But yeah, when you have an administration that encourages shit like this, and then they have the ability to hide it, the floodgates are open, and it affects your vote. It affects everything all the way down the line. Our resources and everything. You may think I may sound paranoid, but we've seen the data. The data has shown that. It's something we still fight every day. I know it's a hot button issue, definitely when it comes to political seasons, immigration and civil rights, and racism and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's all about that food on the table and the cost of it, and how well you can take care of your child and your child's future. Damn the distractions. Damn the emotional issues. What are the real issues? What's the deception? And that's another thing about this. And it's I got like 5 more minutes before I cut the show off. And Freestyle Friday here at the Most Winning Show, the Phil Show. See what the fuck I look like. Like I said, hit that like and subscribe button. You can catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Website coming soon. We're expanding. This is a new show. Like I said, I've never done media before, but I think it's important that we have new voices out here in America that you can reflect, that you can relate to, that you can be a part of. And I want you guys to all be witnesses with me. I'm just your moderator. I want to talk about these issues. I'm going to give you my viewpoint, but I want us to, decide what the truth is and together make better informed decisions so we're not deceived by our leaders, whether they're in politics, whether they're in corporate America, whether they're in Hollywood. Because we can be influenced all kind of ways, but we should be able to influence ourselves and make our own decisions on our own, first and foremost. And in order to do that, we got to be well informed. And I encourage you to gather your information from all kind of sources and speak your voice, and don't let it be drowned out. That's what happened a lot of times. A lot of people, a lot of family members, a lot of friends, a lot of people have been drowned out because there's been one big slanted viewpoint about what's going on in the world. But you gotta push back on that. Don't let people drown you out, because your opinion matters as well. Everything's not all black and white. There's a lot of gray. So like I said, I'm not a Republican. I guess you can call me independent, but I am a Trump supporter, because at the end of the day, to me, it's about common sense and fairness, and it's about really not about him or Biden, but it's about your country, and it's about your Constitution, it's about your core values and traditions, and your freedom of speech and your rights. Those are what needs to be protected, and that's what this show is going to continue to do. And we're going to continue to get refined and smoothed out. Like I said, my website's coming soon. Like I said, it's a hot new show, and we're going to get better at this. And I'm glad. I'm thankful you guys all tuning in, and get back on the topics. I'm going into Monday. I like to get more refined with the news and more refined with the analysis. But I want to talk about the economy, because I really think that we're the wolves are being. Is it the wolves? Is it the wool or wolves? That's probably wrong too. Is the wool being turned on my eyes? What the fuck is the quote? Wool. The sheep put on my eyes? Okay, Malik. No, I probably won't use that. Is the wool being turned on my eyes? No, I'm not saying this shit right.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're even trying to say.
Yeah, I know.
I've never heard this quote before.
Yeah, it's an old school quote. It's like one of them fucking old lady quotes. Where you get the wool put over your eyes. I'm not saying
that sounds right.
Did I say right?
That sounds right.
That sounds right. Well, you're being deceived or whatever. Anyway, when it comes to the economy, I feel like these numbers, these job figures, are slanted. And here's a prime example. I'll read this real quick. This is also from let me see, where I read this article at. Yeah, the weekly jobless claims rise. Weekly jobless claims rise despite signs of strengthening in hiring. Okay, that's some of a contradiction. Weekly jobless claims came in higher than expected on Thursday despite signs of a labor market improvement. The Labor Department reported that 719 people filed initial claims of unemployment benefits last week, higher than the 675,000 the Dow Jones estimate, and up 61,000 from the previous week's 658,000, which was the lowest since the coronavirus pandemic hit. Hiring has been picking up as many states lift some coronavirus restrictions. As we know, that's the reason for the boost. Economists polled by Dow Jones expects Friday's monthly employment report to show that the economy added 675,000 jobs in March as more businesses reopened and vaccinations picked up. The unemployment rate is forecast to drop to 6% from 6.2% a month earlier. Now, as a quote, when it comes to the economy, things are looking up, says Sean Snyder, head investment strategy at Citi U.S. Wealth Management. This is per Politico and CNBC. Now, the Dow Jones said that the forecast of the unemployment to drop to 6% from 6.2%, but you guys are the same assholes who got the unemployment numbers wrong. It was an increase of 61,000 people. You had an estimate of 675,000. It's actually 719,000 people. So, the economist poll by Dow Jones expects Friday's monthly employment report to show that the economy added this amount of jobs, 675,000 jobs in March, as more businesses opened up. And now you're forecasting that the unemployment is going to drop to 6% from 6.2. But again, your estimates were wrong before. So we'll come back and look at that on Monday or the next time these numbers are updated. Because like I said, I mean, a lot of these numbers, a lot of these figures are based on the seasonal change, the hospitality and leisure, and cities opening up. But on the other hand, you had unemployment filings increased last week. I'm really interested to see how quarter 3 and quarter 4 turn out for this country this year, as I have a feeling that this economic number, this economy is a little deceptive. And are we weak and are we strong? Are these stimulus and all these injections of money and this infrastructure deal going to be enough? Are these jobs fugazi? Are these jobs seasonal? What about the jobs increases in other areas and other sectors of our country? So we'll keep analyzing and looking into that as well on the Emotions to Witness show. I want you guys to have a great weekend. I want you guys to enjoy the weather. It's Easter. Things are opening up. Things are clearing up for us. I want you guys to stay positive, stay vigilant. I know that I bring you a lot of different viewpoints when it comes to the vaccine, but at the end of the day, just take care of your health. and live your life and love your children. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Emos to Witness. And I'm out.